Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. Lately, it's getting close to Black Friday, and I've had a lot of people ask me, I've got a small little building cabin, or for an emergency, a home backup, what size solar generator should I buy? You know, People don't know exactly how large of a generator or how small of a generator they can get by with, and everybody wants to save money. So I thought I'd just make a small, quick little video. I'm going to show you a 2,000 watt generator and what all I can put on it, and you're going to see how much extra power you actually have. This way, it might give you an idea of what size you need for what you're going to need it for. So I've already got my washer going, put a load of clothes in there, got it hooked up to my generator, and step by step, we're going to keep adding to the generator with the refrigerator, with the freezer, security cameras, TV, stuff like that. We're just going to keep pushing it. That way, it'll give you an idea exactly what you might need. And again, Black Friday, everybody's having great deals. I ain't even going to name them off. You can get on Amazon and just see a ton of them. So let's get to it, and we're just going to take a look and check it out. So as you can see, I have got my washer going. You can see the little blue light on there, and you can hear it surely. And I've got it plugged up to my electric line going to my solar. I've got two outlets right here in my pantry. So let's go in here and we'll take a look. And as you can see, I have got plenty of solar power stations. I pretty much run my home on solar power stations each and every day and night. So, I'm not short of power stations at all. Right there's two DBS Dabsons. There's a 2,000 watt Dabson, a little small 550 Alcatel. Got a few more over here. But today, we're just going to use the old trusted Blue Eddy AC200P. And the only thing I've got hooked up to it right now is my washing machine. And right here is my main cable. As long as I plug this into whatever unit, whether it may be that one or that one or that one, this right here gives me power to my dining room, my living room, my kitchen, and my pantry. I've got all rooms wired up, and it comes up through the floor. This way it just keeps me from running cables through the floor in an emergency and tripping over them. But as you can see, if you can see it, at the moment, we are running, let me get my finger up here so people that don't know, right there. And that's the washer where it's like going up and down, cycling. That's why the wattage is bouncing up and down. So right now I'm seeing anywhere from 96, 155, 47, 159, 203. It's just bouncing up and down. And let me show you why. You hear that? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's an agitator. And what it's doing is it's using that electric, and then at a split second, it drops. And then starts again, drops. But that's why the electricity on the power station's running up and down. Now, when it's spinning, it'll be at one steady, voltage or watts, however you want to look at it. So you seen what it was. And I'll tell you what, right here is my pantry upright freezer. It's plugged up to the wall right now. Let's unplug it. Let's plug it up now just to show you. I don't want you to think I'm fooling you. No light. Power's off on it. Just don't want no one to think I'm lying to them. Plugging it up. There's the light. Light down below. So now we got that hooked up. Let's go in here and see how much more it's using. Now, as you can see, it's going from 230, 236, 335, 420. That washer's still making it bounce, and it will settle off when that washer just starts spinning. But that's how much more I'm using. So I would say 344 is the highest I've seen. Let's go hook up something else. Now here in my dining room, I've got my stand-up refrigerator and my stand-up freezer. Right now they're hooked up to the grid power. And don't think I'm crazy. My wife just loves to cook. We put a lot of meat up. So yes, we do keep two freezers and two refrigerators. Now my solar line is coming up through the floor right behind this old phonograph. So I'm going to get the camera in the floor and you can see what I'm talking about. Now right here is just an extension cords. This is my grid power right here. I've just got an extension cord running to the wall. Then I put this adapter in. This is my upright freezer, and on this side is my refrigerator. And if you can see back here, this is my solar. If you can see that, it comes up through the floor, and I've got a female outlet on the end. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to unplug my grid power and hook it up to my solar. So we're hooked up now. There we go. And do you see the light kindly going up and down just a hair? That's from the washer jerking and fluctuating electricity. Doesn't hurt a thing. And we've got our freezer going. So we've got these two on. So now let's go in here and see what we got. So right here it is. It's still fluctuating because of the washer. 441 I seen. 443, 479. So we'll call it 479 at the high. Let's go hook up another refrigerator. Now here's my kitchen refrigerator. And I've already unplugged it from the grid power. Right here's my cord. And if you can see right up there, I've installed that. And that goes to my power station, USB-A, and my AC. I'm going to plug this up. And there we go. So let's go in here and see what we're doing now. Now, if you can see there, a second ago, right there, 575. So it's drawing 575 watts. Right there was 560 some, 6 something. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's go in here and we'll pause the washer. That way it ain't jerking it up and down, and we'll see what it's actually drawing. All right. Let's hit the pause button. Now let's go in here and check out, see what we got. All right. We are steady at 275, 287. So that washer really doesn't jerk that much. It's just for a split second because of that agitator jerking it up and down. You can see now we're pretty much steady. 288, 287, 288. So I tell you what, let's go hook up some more stuff and we'll leave the washer on pause for a second. Now right here is behind my TV. I know it looks like a mess, but all this is my security cameras and monitor and everything. That's why everything's plugged into the wall right here. I'm going to unplug it and plug it up to my solar electricity cable coming up right here. So let's go ahead and do that. If I jerk the camera, I'm sorry. Plug it in. So right there. Had to lay down my flashlight. So my monitor's kicking back on. My security camera box, the brains, is kicking back on, which is kicking on 6 cameras. That little clock there. My 70-inch TV. Let's kick it back on. It'll take a second for it to reboot. So we've added the TV, the camera monitor, the brains of the camera system right there, and 6 cameras outside. That's the cameras kicking on. And once the cable comes back on, it'll be at full usage, drawing wattage. There's my cameras kicking back on, as you can see. So we'll give it a second. But yeah, you can get by on a 2,000 watt power station, and that's what we're using in case of a blackout, an emergency. And honestly, if you've got enough solar coming in, which we'll talk about in a minute, you can get by. So right there, let me pause that or mute it. Now let's go in here and we'll see what we're drawing. So as you can see right now, I'm using 300 and basically 84, 85 watts. If you don't know where to look, right there. I'm at 96% battery. I have no solar coming in. Today is a very rainy and cloudy day, and I just figured I just wanted to show you exactly what a 2,000 watt can run. So right now, okay, 396 right there. We'll call that the high. So let's just, round it off to 400 watts. Let's do that. Now let's go in here and we'll kick on the washing machine again, and then we'll come back in here and check. But remember, basically 400 watts. All right, let's unpause. Now let's go back and check it again. And right there, whoa, 728. But again, that's from the jerking of the agitator. It's only using that for a split second. But yes, 6, 382, 513. But see, that's what I'm saying. That agitator's just jerking the electricity up and down, just like it was doing the lights in the refrigerator. And again, this 2,000 watt Blue Eddy AC200P, they've stopped making this model, but they've got newer ones. And I'll be honest with you, I love these models. I've bought 2 brand new ones, which is this one and this one. And then when I had the chance, I've got used ones, which you can see back there is one used one, another used one. And just about, I would call it maybe 3 weeks ago, I acquired this one off of an old man and woman. They're about an hour, a little over an hour away. They actually put that one on Facebook Marketplace. They started off at $850. And I saved it and was watching it. And a little over time, they would drop it to 8. Then another 2 or 3 weeks, they would drop it to 7. Another week or two, they drop it to 5. And believe it or not, it got down to 500. And I messaged them and I asked them what was the bottom dollar. And they actually told me, they said, if you'll come to where we live, which was about an hour and 15 minutes away from my house, they said, if you'll meet us where we live today, you can have it for $450. And I asked them all about it. And they said the only thing they used it for was every now and then just a small little blackout to run the refrigerator, maybe a fan at night. They said they actually run the fan on it more than anything. And they only used it 4, 5, 6 times. They said it just literally sat in their closet. They had no use for it. They ended up buying one of those Generac diesel generators that you put outside that runs your whole home. And they said they just didn't want it no more, wanted to get rid of it. So I met them, tested it out. It worked great. And I even asked the old man, when we was looking at it, or I was looking at it, my wife was there. I said, does it take in solar good? And he said, solar? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, how did you charge it up all the time? He said, well, when the power would come back on, we'd plug it up and charge it back up and put it up. I said, you never hooked solar up to it, a solar panel? And he said, buddy, he said, I didn't even know it took solar. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And in my head, like I said, I got it for $450, not a scratch on it. It had 2 or 3 pieces of white paint, little splashes of white paint, I would say, where they painted their walls and hid it. I cleaned it up. I mean, no scratches or nothing, just a couple little places of paint. It came right off. And yeah, they didn't even know it took in solar. But yes, got this for $450. Again, he used it, he said, about 4 or 5 times. That was it. So that was a steal, tickled to death with it. But I'm telling you, if you can ever find you an AC200P, a good one, used or new, grab it. I'm telling you, these things work great. I've never had a problem out of any of them, even my used ones. But they take up to 700 watts of solar, 150 volt input, So I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong with them. But let's take a look at this again. 574 I seen right there, 717 for a split second. And I'll tell you why I'm not bringing in any solar today. Let's go take a look at that. As you can see, it is a rainy, cloudy day. I mean, it's cold. As you can see, got water on the porch. It's been raining, just nasty. But right there is what I run my Blue Eddies off of. Each one of these are 700 watts. Every one. It's 3 arrays at 700 watts each. And that's what I plug my Blue Eddy AC200Ps up on. So, I mean, it brings in good solar. Just today, there is nothing. It's just pitiful, cold, rainy, overcast. I'm not even fooling with it. I plugged it up earlier, and it was on, but it just showed 0. So literally nothing. So again, we are doing the washer. My stand-up deep freeze here in the pantry. My double door refrigerator. My stand-up refrigerator. My stand-up deep freeze, and that thing's a beast. We are doing the 70-inch TV, the monitor, my security box brains right there, and 6 cameras outside, plus that little clock right there. So let's walk in here and we'll check out something else. Again, I'm just trying to give you an idea what you can run on these. Let's hook up a LED light, because in an emergency, you need light. And I would say 2 would be efficient. If I can get this plugged up with one hand. Turn our DC on. There you go. And anybody that don't think these little 3 and 5 watt LED bulbs will put out good light, let me tell you, you can light up a whole room with them. Let's plug up one more. If I can get it in there with one hand again. I'm not good with my left hand. As you can see, I'm having difficulty. Hang on one second. All right, we got it. So we've got both of them plugged up. So in an emergency, I would say anybody would use at least 2 lights. And as you can see, I'm using 4 watts on my DC right here. So it's basically 3 watts each. I believe that's what these 2 are, is 3 watts each. And it's showing 4 watts. And right there, I just seen, 718 for a split second, 551. So like I said, I don't know what else you would want to run in an emergency in your home. I mean, I've showed you what I'm running. So, like I said, a 2,000 watt unit you can get by on. And if you do have solar, a good sunny day, let's say, and the power's out, like I said, average, without the washer jerking up and down, we're using basically, I'm wanting to say maybe like 400. Let's check it one more time. We'll go put the washer on pause again. just run in here. I won't cut it. I'll let you come along for the walk with me. Pause this again. All right. In case anybody's seen it, done a video on that scooter over there, I got another item from another company. We're going to be doing a video on it. So I didn't want anybody to think I'm crippled if you've seen it over there. I'm just doing a review on it by a good company. So we are basically using 384, 371, 372, 384. And again, I'll round it off and go over, let's just call it 400 watts. This is a 2000 watt unit. So you basically have got 1600 more watts to use on just this 2000 watt unit right here. I'm going to turn out these lights, that way it don't blind you. So again, you have got plenty of watts to use. I mean, like I said, 2000 watts, we're using 400. So, 1600 watts you have left, and again, what I was trying to say is, like, if it was a sunny day and I had my solar with my 700 watt array, by the time it comes to my house, because I've got the cables in the ground under the house coming up, by the time it actually gets into my Blue Eddy, out of 700 watt panels and array, I'm actually bringing in, on a really good day, I can bring in basically 600. I lose about 100 watts. But even on a semi-sunny day, a little bit of clouds, decent sun, I'll at least, at minimum, bring in 500 watts. That 500 watts will keep this thing charged all day, and it'll actually keep the battery, as you can see right now, it's at 91. It will keep this at 99%. Then it'll kick up to 100%, and my solar will kick off. And then when it drops back down to 99%, the solar kicks back on the MPPT controller. So I literally am staying at 100% all day long until in the evening, roughly 3, I would say 3, 4ish, 3 or 4 o'clock in the evening. Then where the sun starts going down, I do start losing solar. But this thing will be at roughly 40% when I turn in at night around 8, 9 o'clock. And then I'll just take my yellow cord and I'll switch it over to maybe the Pecron F3000, the Fossibot 3600 Pro, whatever. And then them bigger ones there, they'll get me through the night without me having to get up and change it over. When I wake up in the morning, for instance, this one, it's sitting at about 52%. The Fossibot, it'll be sitting at, roughly 17 to 22%. But during the day, I just hook up a 2000 watt, and this will get me through all day running everything. So, like I said, if you don't want to fool with a gas generator, get you a power station. I would at least minimum get a 2000 watt. I highly recommend a 3000 watt or larger, but a 2000 watt will do it. But I will say, 1000 watt power station to 1200 will run your refrigerator fine. Anywhere, depending what brand you get, anywhere from 14 to 22 hours, just depending. I've got some cheaper models. I'm telling you what, I ain't gonna call them cheaper, just more of a lower name than Blue Eddy or EcoFlow. But I'll be honest with you, one of the best ones you can get for the money, check out UD Power, the S1200. I can't recall off the top of my head, but it ran this refrigerator, oh my goodness, for hours. I mean, hours. Let me go in here and check real quick, and I'll let you know. The UD Power S1200, it ran this refrigerator double door for 12 hours. I think it was like 8 minutes, it said. 12 hours from 100% to the battery died. And I'll give you a glimpse of it real quick. I love it. UD Power, to me, is one of your best money savers. And that's it right there. It's the S1200 by UD Power. I love it. Thing is awesome. And also, I've got the UD Power C600. This thing will amaze you too, I'm telling you. And I'm just getting, this ain't sponsored by no brand. This is my video. I'm telling you, check them out. For the money, they are awesome. I highly recommend them. If you're just not wanting to spend a lot of money, I'm telling you what, I highly recommend them. But now that the washer's on pause again, everything I'm running right there, 372, 371, not even 375 watts. So no one can tell me you can't run your home pretty much on a 2,000 watt power station. So, well, I believe that's enough. Thank y'all for watching the video. I hope this has helped somebody on decisions. Now, whether it's a Blue Eddy, you know, an All Powers, a Oaks, a Pecron, you know, a Dabson right here. I love Dabson. Very well made. A 2,000 watt model, you know, output. You can't go wrong. But again, if you get a 1,500, 1,200, that will sustain a refrigerator, some lights. So, hey, I hope this has helped somebody. I appreciate y'all watching. Hey, we'll catch you on the next one, and God bless.